Have you ever had a brilliant idea, a really achievable goal, and then that little voice inside your head just whispers, stop, you're not capable of that?
Oh, absolutely. It's this universal feeling.
Yeah. It makes success feel like it's just for the lucky few, like winning the lottery or something.
Exactly. And those mental blocks, those habits of thinking, they feel so permanent, like concrete walls.
But what if that feeling of being limited isn't just in your head? What if it's a physical thing, a structure that's been reinforced?
Well, that's what our deep dive is all about today.
Right. What if success is less about just, finding motivation and more about an actual biological upgrade?
And this isn't some abstract philosophy. We're talking about cold, hard neuroscience, measurable structural changes in the brain.
So our mission today is to get into the science of rewiring your brain for success. We're going to look at how we can dismantle those old limiting thoughts and physically build new, powerful habits,
And the whole thing hinges on this one core concept, this idea of neuroplasticity.
which is what? The brain's ability to change.
Exactly. It's this incredible capacity the brain has to adapt, to reorganize, and to form completely new connections all throughout your life. Your brain isn't some fixed piece of hardware.
It's constantly updating.
Constantly.
Okay, let's unpack that. When we say rewiring, what did that actually look like, on a cellular level?
So it's a very real biological process. When you learn a new skill or even just shift a thought pattern, you trigger something called synaptic pruning.
Pruning, like gardening.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
You're trimming away the old, inefficient connections. And at the same time, you're building up something called myelination.
Myelination.
It's a fatty sheath that coats the neural pathways you use most often. Think of it like insulation on a wire.
Ah, so it makes the signal faster,
Yeah.
more efficient.
Precisely. And the research, from places like Harvard and Stanford, it's clear. Consistent mental practice, like visualization, literally alters your brain's structure. It measurably improves things like decision-making and emotional control.
I love the analogy the sources use for this. They say to imagine your brain as a huge, bustling city,
Yeah, it's a great one.
and your neural pathways are the highways connecting everything.
And just like in a city, the roads you use all the time, those daily thoughts, the skills you practice, they become these wide, smooth, multi-lane highways. They're your default routes.
And the ones you don't use.
They get overgrown, they fade away.
And this is where the problem of negative thinking comes in.
Right.
Because that constant self-doubt, that fear of failure, it's not just a slow back road.
No, it's a 4-lane traffic jam on the main highway to where you want to go.
And because you use it every day, you've accidentally made it the most efficient route to self-sabotage.
That's it, exactly.
Okay, this is so important. And before we get into how we can start building those new fast lanes, I just want to say, if you find this kind of material valuable, the kind that gives you a real shortcut to understanding complex ideas,
You should definitely check out the Mind Expansion Daily channel.
for sure, there's so much more great content there. And if you're listening right now, do us a quick favor.
Please, just hit that like button and share this deep dive. You probably know someone who could use a bit of a mental tune-up.
It really helps others find these tools. Also, if you're getting value from this, we'd be so grateful if you'd consider buying us a cup of coffee to support the work.
And let us know where you're listening from in the comments. We love seeing where everyone is tuning in from. It's an amazing global community.
It really is.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get back to those traffic jams. How do we even start to identify them?
Right. So if we keep taking that I can't do it highway, it just gets stronger. The first step is figuring out what those specific mental barriers are for you.
Like those phrases we all use, I'm not talented enough for that. Or the big one, what if I fail and everyone sees?
Those aren't just random thoughts. They're signs of what Carol Dweck's work calls a fixed mindset.
The belief that your abilities are just set in stone.
Exactly. The belief that your intelligence, your talent, it's all static. And if you believe that,
Then why would you ever risk failing? There's no point in pushing through a challenge. You just avoid it.
and that traps you. It traps you in a cycle of avoidance and, eventually regret. These things often start really early on.
Like from a critical teacher or a parent.
For sure. Or even just one big failure when you were young. That can plant the seed.
And then as adults, we water that seed with our own negative self-talk. We repeat things like, I always mess up under pressure.
And that repetition, that's the myelination we were talking about. You're literally reinforcing the barrier, making it stronger and harder to get past later on.
But the amazing thing about neuroplasticity is that none of this is permanent.
None of it. The essential first step is just self-awareness. You have to be willing to look at the traffic jam.
So how do you do that? How do you spot the patterns?
The sources really push for a specific kind of journaling. It's not just about writing down the doubts, but tracking when they show up.
Ah, the context.
The context is everything. Does it happen when you're about to speak in public? When you sit down to work on that creative project? Just shining a light on it is the beginning of taking it apart.
So once you've mapped the old road, you need the blueprint for the new one. This is the toolkit for transformation,
And it starts with that mindset shift we mentioned, adopting a growth mindset.
where challenges aren't threats, they're feedback.
Exactly. They're opportunities. And once you really start to believe that you can grow, that's when these practical techniques start to work their magic.
Okay, technique one, visualization. I feel like this one gets dismissed sometimes as, a bit woo-woo.
It does, but the science behind it is just incredible. It's a powerhouse.
So how does it work?
It's about vividly picturing success with all five senses. You're not just thinking, I'll do well. You are literally seeing the presentation slides, feeling the keyboard under your fingers,
Yeah.
hearing the applause.
And what's happening in the brain when you do that?
This is the amazing part. When an athlete like Michael Phelps visualized his perfect race, he was activating the exact same brain regions.
The same motor cortex regions.
The very same ones that would fire during the actual race. So you are literally practicing mentally. You're strengthening those pathways for success before you even move.
Like a dress rehearsal for your brain, building that insulation, that myelination ahead of time.
That's a perfect way to put it. And it's simple. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day in a quiet place. The more sensory detail, the better.
Okay, technique two, affirmations. If visualization is the rehearsal, affirmations are. What, the script?
The script that overwrites the old negative one.
Yes.
And they work, but you have to get past the idea that they're just wishful thinking.
So they have to be positive present tense statements like, I am capable, not I will be capable.
Yes, I am resilient. Success flows to me. You say them in the morning, at night, and this is key with genuine emotion.
But why does just repeating a sentence work? How does that change anything?
It has to do with something called the default mode network in your brain, the DMN.
Okay.
That's the network that kicks in when your mind is idle. And for a lot of us, it's the engine of self-criticism and worry. Affirmations interrupt that. They flood the system with a strong, positive alternative.
They're actively rewriting the default program.
They really are. And studies show they reduce stress and actually boost your ability to solve problems under pressure.
Wow. Okay, so we visualize the goal, affirm the belief. Now we ground it all with technique three, mindfulness.
Mindfulness is crucial because it brings you into the now, and it's not about emptying your mind. That's a huge misconception.
It's about observing your thoughts without getting caught up in them.
Without judgment. Exactly. It gives you that split second of awareness to see the old traffic jam starting to form and to consciously choose the new highway instead.
What about something as simple as deep breathing? What's the neurological benefit there?
That simple act, inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, it calms the amygdala.
The brain's fear center.
Right. And when the amygdala is less reactive, your prefrontal cortex, the logical planning part of your brain, can take the driver's seat. Mindfulness literally strengthens the connection between your emotional brain and your logical brain.
This is all so powerful.
Yeah,
But I
well,
guess this is where the hard part comes in. Consistency.
it is a workout for your brain. You can't just do it once and expect to be transformed.
Right. The changes take weeks, even months, to really stick.
They do. And to support that internal work, you have to manage your external world too. Curate your social media, find supportive people, read books like Atomic Habits.
And you have to celebrate the small wins, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about the power of that reinforcement.
Oh, it's critical. Every time you take a bold step, one that goes against that old self-doubt script, you have to acknowledge it.
And that gives you a little dopamine hit.
It does. Dopamine is the brain's reward chemical. It directly reinforces that new pathway and tells your brain, hey, this felt good, this was efficient, do this again. You're literally programming your brain to prefer the new route.
The real-life proof for this is it's stunning. It goes way beyond just motivational stories.
I mean, think about the example of the man who was paralyzed in a diving accident, a quadriplegic.
Told his limits were absolute, set in stone.
But he used relentless visualization. He did grueling therapy, constantly imagining his body moving in ways it couldn't, and he regained significant function.
But the proof isn't just that he recovered. It's what the scientists saw.
Yes, the MRI scans. They showed that new neural bridges had actually formed in his brain and spinal cord. They bypassed the damaged areas. His intention, his focused effort literally rewired his physical capacity.
That just shows you the limits of what we think is possible are. Well, maybe they aren't limits at all.
I think that's right. And we see it in business, too. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, visualized her success constantly through hundreds of rejections. The science confirms this works across all fields.
But for someone starting out, it can feel overwhelming. What are the biggest pitfalls?
Impatience, for sure. Number one, everyone wants a quick fix, but this is biological change. It takes repetition.
So tracking your progress in a journal is key.
So important. Focus on your effort, not just the immediate outcome. And the other pitfall is how you handle a relapse.
Right, when that old habit or fear pops back up, it can feel like a total failure.
But it doesn't have to. You have to see it as just a data point. Gently redirect. Don't beat yourself up. Just get back on the new highway. Every single moment is a new chance to build that road.
So to sum this all up, rewiring your brain for success is this profound biological journey. It's about using these tools, visualization, affirmations, mindfulness, to make small daily changes.
And those small actions compound into this fundamental transformation.
It's amazing.
What's really astonishing is that we know this documented intentional effort creates physical change. The source mentioned a 30-day challenge where people focused on creative self-doubt. By day 7, they were already having bolder ideas, which, it raises a really important question.
One that brings all this science right back to your own life.
If dedicated, documented change can create new neural bridges in the MRI of a quadriplegic, what unexpected, non-obvious part of your life, the one thing you see is absolutely fixed, could you fundamentally rewrite in the next 30 days? What does that consistent, documented effort reveal about the true limits of your own capacity?